working group?
I believe their next hearing is in mid to late April. Christine, you would have the exact date.
We have a public hearing scheduled for April 19th, and the proposed rule is in the comment period right now.
How well publicized is that proposed, that hearing been? So, I mean, how would the public know to be there?
Well, we follow the APA guidelines, so it's the notice of the workshop of the hearing was published in the Texas Register along with the rule, and then we're having an additional notice that's going to go out this week and is filed in the project. The commission also set up a separate email listserv, and we allow people to sign up for that, so we're going to blast it through there. And then staff, along with me, have been working with the various community representatives, and we'll let them know that this is occurring.
So state again for me when the meeting and where the meeting will be.
The meeting will be held on April 19th at the PUC offices, which is in, would you like me to give the address? It's the William B. Travis building, and it's on the corner of 17th and Congress.
Here in the Capitol Complex.
Yeah, in the Capitol Complex, and you would come to the 7th floor.
What time?
Starts at 11 a.m. And that was at the request of some of the parties.
And how do they go about getting on the email registry to be able to get these email updates you mentioned just moments ago?
That will be in our notice that we file this week. They would just contact me or the attorney or one of the staff, and we'll add them to the email. It's a very easy thing to do.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for your testimonies. And again, if you do have anything in writing, you'll make sure that with the clerk, you don't go far, just in case. Thank you. Next four we have coming forward will be Jan Gentry, Thomas Winterberg, John Hancock, no relations, Virginia Prudhoe. I don't believe so.
We'll have to call in the night shift here pretty soon for this committee, but that's all right. We're here to hear your comments. So that's we'll go as long as it takes.
Thank you. Ladies first.
Hi, my name is Jan Gentry. I would like to talk about the privacy issues with the smart meters. It is obvious the smart meter has been designed to do more than just collect the amount of kilowatts citizens use in their residences. That leads to the question of what else is it designed for? The answer is to collect data, private data, none of your business data. I'm angered by the fact that I, nor the Texan homeowner, was ever asked if he or she wanted to change from analog to digital, a smart meter. If I had been given the facts and the choice, I would have said no. If you haven't heard from many Texans, it's because they don't know they have one. That's why you're not hearing about it, because the average Texan does not know they have one. Sunday night, I took my garbage to the trash bin in the alley and ran into my neighbor. I asked him if he knew anything about smart meters on the side of his condo. He said no. So I took him to where it is mounted on the outside wall and began telling him what I know about smart meters. I could go up and down the street I live on, and the majority of people don't have a clue what a smart meter is or that they even have one. That is a major problem, and that's why I'm here today. I'm asking you to protect Texans like myself from this invasive, protruding government nose which is preparing to monitor and eventually control and take away my constitutional rights as a citizen of Texas and the U.S. And by the way, I would ask if we could have another hearing so that the senators that are not here could hear our concerns.
And, well, I'll address that. As you notice, there are multiple. In fact, we were just talking about that. There's 8 committees going on at this time, and several have different bills. But if you'll notice, each one of their staffs are here, and they have representation that will be conveying the information to them. And like I said, anybody that has anything in writing will be passing that along as well. Thank you, Ms. Gentry.
What business is it of anyone to know when I arm my security system, when I turn on my TV, what channel I watch, when I use my air conditioner, my hair dryer, my washing machine, my computer? Google is policing that 100% right now. And one more thing, we don't have an energy problem. If we were able to access our natural resources unencumbered from the stranglehold of the government, utilize our God-given natural resources, we would not have an energy problem, an unemployment problem. And the same is true about building our power plants. We need to be able to do that. Thank you for hearing me today, and I'm praying for each of you on this committee that God would give you the ability to discern truth from error.
Thank you, Ms. Gentry.
We do need to get on, go back up here again.
Yeah.
Encore,
I don't not to go very far away.
Yeah.
Mr. Carpenter, if you'd come forward.
Yeah, let's,
Hey,
and please,
I would just sit on the front row.
That's right. Or next to both of us. And
Yeah.
I think, again, I'm trying to do this so that we can shorten some of the remaining testimony, but I'd like you to address directly the privacy issue, because that comes up regularly, and it's a legitimate concern people have. Explain the privacy as the protocol exists today with these smart meters, both for the existence of the meter, what it collects and doesn't collect, and how the opt-in to RF would change that.
But it has the potential to do it eventually.
Well, it does have the potential. I don't think there's any disagreement there, but let's talk about that.
The meters in Texas, well, first of all, there were public hearings when we defined exactly how we wanted the metering requirements to be set up. That's where we came up with 15-minute interval data versus hourly versus 5 minutes. So the utilities in Texas that are part of this advanced meter deployment, they use 15-minute interval data.
And that alone, what can you derive from that?
From that alone, you can't discreetly see what in the house specifically is operating necessarily, because the air conditioning load is such a big load. You can generally see your air conditioning load. You may be able to tell what your water heating load is. You can't tell which light is on, which light is off. You can't tell if the garage door opened or closed. Because you're only looking at 15-minute buckets of energy, and we at Oncor, ours brings that data back every 4 hours on a random basis. So it's not that you're looking at it as it goes. It's brought into a system. People don't go into that system until they're doing data work on a historic basis. So it's not really being looked at real time. So after the fact, there is 15-minute data. Matter of fact, that's on the Smart Meter Texas portal. Part of the requirement was we make that available to customers who want to use that data.
Right now, the question that was raised is, what other features does that meter have, or what else is it capable of doing?
All that meter can do, it can measure energy. Different meters have little different nuances. The meters that I'm most familiar with, we can get power outages where the electric system goes out. We can get diagnostic signals from the meter when the meter gets in trouble. There is also within the meter a different radio that can communicate with devices in the home. It's a Zigbee radio, and it connects to a home area network. The only way that can connect to a home area network is if the user, the homeowner, actually provides a code with their unique device back through the Smart Meter Texas portal to connect it, or to have their retail electric provider do it for them. It cannot automatically do any of those kind of things. So this substitute bill just makes sure that if any of that stuff were to happen, that data can't be used and nobody can go in and start controlling things in people's homes. That's what this substitute bill does, is it protects that one little gap that could be there that technically you really couldn't do anyway.
So are you saying that you don't have the technical ability from, let's say, your data center somewhere, to go back out to that house on 123 Oak Street and make that connection into that refrigerator? That requires the customer on the receiving end, the homeowner, to actually opt into the system?
Yes, sir. There is absolutely no way that we can do that, to just reach into somebody's home and do that.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. Gentry. Ms. Perdue?
Hi, my name is Virginia Prodan, and I am originally from Dallas, Texas, but I'm originally from Romania. you have a tremendous power, and we elected you to protect our freedom and to protect our rights. And you can touch our lives in a very special way. Many years ago, Senator Corona, you touched my life and my son's life when you approved my son to go and work for NASA as a student from Science and Engineering Magnet School. Later on, he went to graduate from Air Force Academy, and today he fights for United States. He is a United States Air Force pilot. But today, what you have with this bill, you will reach forever our freedom, our rights, not only ours present here, but our children and for generations to come. I'm here to testify as a witness to the history. I grew up in communist Romania. I grew up, and as a young lawyer, I fought against a system who wanted day by day to take our rights. And companies working with a government that said that it's only about electricity, and later on, not only that they rationalize our electricity and cut off for days and hours without announcing our electricity, but they spied on us because they developed a system that they were able to use it to listen. So not only our privacy, but our property rights were taken away, but our right, freedom of speech and freedom of association. Many times people, they will speak up and they were against government for what the government was doing, or considered dissidents, and they disappear. There is a potential in this bill, and we ask that you will protect our freedom. Life will be changed forever. I can tell you that when the government stopped our electricity, it was very hard to take a shower, to cook for our families. And many times in winter time, when we were ready to go to bed, we looked like we were ready to go snowing or skiing, because we had gloves, we had hats, we had all kind of layers of it. You do not want this kind of life for yourself, for myself, or for anybody. In the beginning, the government said that they would rationalize only some areas, and then later on they rationalized electricity and control even the lives of people working for the government. And I'm here to testify that when the government has more power, it's very hard to take that power back. Please protect our freedom, protect our rights. Freedom is treasure to those who don't have it. That's the most treasure that you can give to our children, to us, and to generations to come. Thank you.
I don't think any of us could disagree with those remarks. Let me say the legislature first authorized smart meters all the way back in 2005. There was very little to know about smart meters back then, other than they seem to represent the latest in technology. And let's face it, who amongst you, wouldn't be, for, at the time at least, for technology? As time has passed, we are now hearing from the public that there are concerns. We didn't hear from the public back in 2005. Don't pass that bill. Not a one of you were here. And so what I would tell all of you is that whatever bill passes from this committee, if we can in fact get a bill through the committee, all of these members have a vote, and my vote is no greater than their votes. Whatever we do will in all likelihood be incremental, because again, the support was overwhelming in 2005. We still have very sketchy, very limited information. And I agree with what one of our speakers said earlier. We don't have conclusive proof there isn't a problem here. Well, we don't approach most things in life that way. We typically venture out and we take the risk. I mean, we're all risk takers to some degree. So we have ventured out. We've taken this risk on greater technology. It may prove over time to be the wrong decision. And we are listening very carefully and very closely to what you all are saying. But the two things I would tell you: one is, remember, everything in the legislature changes incrementally, and two, nothing leaves this committee unless it's got, at least 5 votes on a 9-member committee. So We're going to try to get whatever we can get through here that will begin the process of addressing this issue. And some of you are going to get out there and rail